I'm actually very worried about how much that's already destabilized us and made us all miserable.
It's certainly accentuated it. It's exacerbated all of our problems. I mean, if you read Jonathan Haidt's book, The Coddling
Yeah.
of the American Mind, have you read it?
Great book.
Yeah, it's a great book, and it's very damaging to women, particularly young girls. Young girls growing up, there's a direct correlation between the invention of social media, the introduction to the iPhone, self-harm, suicide, online bullying. You know, like, people have always talked shit about people when no one's around.
I think
the fact that they're doing it now openly to harm people.
Horrible, obviously. I think it's
Online.
super damaging to men too. Maybe they just like talk about it less, but I don't think any of us are like set up for this.
No one's set up for it. And, you know, I think famous people know that more than anyone.
Well, we all get used to it.
Yeah, you just get numb to it. Or if you're wise, you don't engage. You know, I don't engage. I don't even have any apps on my new phone.
Yeah.
I've decided, I got a new phone and I decided, okay, nothing.
That's really smart.
No Twitter. So I have a separate phone that if I have to post something I pick up. But all I get on my new phone is text messages.
And is that more just to like keep your mind pure and unpolluted? Yeah.
And not tempt myself into just... Do you know how many fucking times I've got up to go to the bathroom first thing in the morning and spent an hour just sitting on the toilet scrolling through Instagram, like, for nothing? It does zero for me. And there's this thought that I'm going to get something out of it.
I was thinking actually just yesterday about how, you know, we all have talked for so long about these algorithmic feeds are going to manipulate us in these big ways, and that will happen. But in the small ways already, where like scrolling Instagram is not even that fulfilling. Like, you finish that hour and you're like, I know that was a waste of my time.
Yeah.
But it was like over the threshold where you couldn't quite, it's hard to put the phone down.
Right. You're just hoping that the next one's going to be interesting. And every now and then, the problem is every like 30th or 40th reel that I click on is wild.
I wonder, by the way, if that's more powerful than if everyone was wild, if everyone was great.
Sure.
You know, it's like the slot
You have to
machine
mine
effect.
for gold.
Yeah.
You don't just go out and pick it like daisies
So it's
where
like
it's out in the field everywhere.
if the algorithm is like intentionally feeding you some shit along the way.
Yeah. Well, there's just a lot of shit out there, unfortunately. But it's just in terms you know, I was talking to Sean O'Malley, who's this UFC fighter, who's, you know, obviously has a very strong mind, really interesting guy. But one of the things that Sean said is like, I get this like low-level anxiety from scrolling through things, and I don't know why. Like, what is that? And I think it's part of the logical mind realizes this is a massive waste of your resources.
I also deleted a bunch of that stuff off my phone because I just didn't have the self-control. I mean, I had the self-control to delete it, but like not to stop once I was scrolling through.
Right. Yeah.
And so I think we're just like, yeah, we're getting attention hacked in some ways. There's some good to it too, but we don't yet have the stuff in place, the tools, the societal norms, whatever, to modulate it well.
Right. And we're not designed for it. I mean, this is
Certainly.
a completely new technology that, again, hijacks our human reward systems and hijacks all of the checks and balances that are in place for communication, which historically has been one-on-one. Historically, communication has been one person to another. And when people write letters to each other, it's generally things like if someone writes a love letter or, you know, they miss you. They're writing this thing where they're kind of exposing a thing that maybe they have a difficulty in expressing in front of you. And it was not, you know, generally, unless the person was a psycho, they're not hateful letters. Whereas the ability to just communicate, fuck that guy, I hope he gets hit by a bus, is so simple and easy, and you don't experience.
Twitter seems to be particularly horrible for this as the mechanics work. It really rewards in ways that I don't think anybody fully understands, that like taps into something about human psychology.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like, that's how you get engagement. That's how you get like followers. That's how you get what, like, you know, the dopamine hits or whatever. And like the people who I know that spend all day on Twitter, more of them are unhappy about it than happy.
Oh, yeah. They're the most unhappy. I mean, there's quite a few people that I follow that I only follow because they're crazy. And then I'll go and check in on them and see what the fuck they're tweeting about. And some of them are on there 8-10 hours a day. I'll see tweets all day long. And I know that person cannot be happy.
They are unhappy and they cannot stop.
You can't stop. And it seems like it's their life. And they get meaning out of it in terms of reinforcement. You know,
they get short-term meaning
yes,
out of it. I think maybe each day you go to bed feeling like you accomplished something and got your dopamine, and at the end of each decade, you probably are like, where'd that decade go?
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine who was having a real problem with it. And he's saying he would be literally walking down the street and he'd have to check his phone to see who's replying, and he wasn't even looking where he was walking. He was just like caught up in the anxiety of these exchanges.
And it's not because of the nice things people say.
No. It's all. And with him, he was recognizing that, you know, he was dunking on people and then seeing people respond to the dunking. And I stopped doing that a long time ago. I stopped interacting with people on Twitter in a negative way. I just won't do it.
Yeah.
Even if I disagree with someone, I'll say something as peacefully as possible.
I have like more of an internet troll streak than I would like to admit. And so I try to just like not give myself too much temptation, but I slip up sometimes.
Yeah. It's so tempting.
Totally.
It's so tempting and it's fun. It's fun to just say something shitty.
I mean, again, whatever this biological system we were talking about earlier, that gets a positive reward.
Well,
in the moment.
There's there's reactions. You say something outrageous and someone's going to react, and that reaction is like energy, and there's all these other human beings engaging with your idea. But ultimately, it's just not productive for most people, and it's psychologically, it's just fraught with peril. There's just so much going on. I don't know anybody who engages all day long that's happy.
Certainly not. I don't like. I mean, I think I've watched it. Like, destroy is too strong of a word, but like, knock off track the careers or lives or happiness or human relationships of people that are like good, smart, conscientious people.
Yeah.
That just like couldn't fight this demon because it like hacked their.
And COVID really accentuated that because people were alone and isolated, and that made it even worse because then they felt even better saying shitty things to people.
If I'm unhappy, I'm going to say even worse things about you.
And then there was the psychological aspect of it, like the angst that came from being socially isolated and terrified about this invisible disease that's going to kill us all. And, you know, so you have this like, and then you're interacting with people on Twitter, and then you're caught up in that anxiety, and you're doing it all day. And I know quite a few people, especially comedians, that really lost their minds and lost the respect of their peers by doing that.
I have a lot of sympathy for people who lost their minds during COVID because what a unnatural thing for us all to go through, and the isolation was just brutal. But a lot of people did, and I don't think the internet, and particularly not the kind of like social dynamics of things like Twitter, I don't think that like brought out anyone's best.
No. Well, I mean, some people, I think, if they're not inclined to be shitty to people, I think some people did seek comfort and they did interact with people in positive ways.
Yeah.
I see there's plenty of positive. I think the thing is the negative interactions are so much more impactful.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of people who use these systems for wonderful things. I didn't mean to imply that's not the case, but that's not what drives people's emotions after getting off the platform at the end of the day.
Right. And it's also probably not, if you looked at a pie chart of the amount of interactions on Twitter, I would say a lot of them are shitting on people and being angry about
How
things.
many of the people that you know that use Twitter those 8 or 10 hours a day are just saying wonderful things about other people all day versus the virulent?
Very few.
Yeah.
Very few. I don't know any of them. I know. But then again, I wonder, with the implementation of some new technology that makes communication a very different thing than what we're currently, like what we're doing now with communication is less immersive than communicating one-on-one. You and I are talking, we're looking into each other's eyes, we're getting social cues, we're smiling at each other, we're laughing. It's a very natural way to talk. I wonder if through the implementation of technology, if it becomes even more immersive than a one-on-one conversation, even more interactive, and you will understand even more about the way a person feels about what you say,
Yeah.
about that person's memory, that person's life, that person's history, their education, how it comes out of their mind, how their mind interacts with your mind, and you see them. You really see them. I wonder if what we're experiencing now is just like the first time people invented guns, they just started shooting at things,